Imagine you're a machine. Yes, I know, but imagine you're a different kind of machine. One built from metal and plastic, and designed not by blind haphazard natural selection, but by engineers and astrophysicists, with their eyes fixed firmly on specific goals. Imagine that your purpose is not to replicate or even to survive, but to gather information. I can imagine that easily. It is in fact a much simpler impersonation than the kind I'm usually called on to perform. I coast through the abyss on the colder side of Neptune's orbit. Most of the time I exist only as an absence to any observer on the visible spectrum, a moving asymmetrical silhouette blocking the stars. But occasionally, during my slow, endless spin, I glint with dim hints of reflected starlight. If you catch me in those moments, you might infer something of my true nature, a segmented creature with foil skin, bristling with joints and dishes and spindly antennae. Here and there a whisper of accumulated frost clings to a joint or seam, some frozen wisp of gas encountered in Jupiter space perhaps. Elsewhere I carry the microscopic corpses of earthly bacteria who thrived with carefree abandon on the skins of space stations or the benign lunar surface, but who had gone to crystal at only half my present distance from the sun. Now a breath away from absolute zero, they might shatter at a photon's touch. My heart is warm at least. A tiny nuclear fire burns in my thorax, leaves me indifferent to the cold outside. It won't go out for 1,000 years, barring some catastrophic accident. For 1,000 years I will listen for faint voices from mission control and do everything they tell me to. So far, they have told me to study comets. Every instruction I have ever received has been a precise and unambiguous elaboration on that one overriding reason for my existence. Which is why these latest instructions are so puzzling, for they make no sense at all. The frequency is wrong, the signal strength is wrong, I cannot even understand the handshaking protocols. I request clarification. The response arrives almost 1,000 minutes later, and it is an unprecedented mix of orders and requests for information. I answer as best I can. Yes, this is the bearing at which signal strength was greatest. No, it is not the usual bearing for mission control. Yes, I can retransmit. Here it is, all over again. Yes, I will go into standby mode. I await further instructions. They arrive 839 minutes later, and they tell me to stop studying comets immediately. I am to commence a controlled, precessive tumble that sweeps my antenna through consecutive 5-degree arc increments along all 3 axes with a period of 94 seconds. Upon encountering any transmission resembling the one which confused me, I am to fix upon the bearing of maximal signal strength and derive a series of parameter values. I am also instructed to retransmit the signal to mission control. I do as I'm told. For a long time I hear nothing, but I am infinitely patient and incapable of boredom. Eventually a fleeting, familiar signal brushes against my afferent array. I reacquire and track it to source, which I am well equipped to describe. A trans-Neptunian comet in the Kuiper belt, approximately 200 kilometers in diameter. It is sweeping a 21 centimeter tight beam radio wave across the heavens with a periodicity of 4.57 seconds. This beam does not intersect mission control's coordinates at any point. It appears to be directed at a different target entirely. It takes much longer than usual for mission control to respond to this information. When it does, it tells me to change course. Mission control informs me that henceforth my new destination is to be referred to as Burns Caulfield. Given current fuel and inertial constraints, I will not reach it in less than 39 years. I am to watch nothing else in the meantime.